Hey, what's up, fam? Crunchyroll is being absolutely ridiculous once again. I don't understand how they can manage to continuously make themselves look almost like somebody who pretends to like anime and then maybe has seen like 2 or 3 shows on Netflix and be like, guess what, guys? I'm a huge anime fan. It's absolutely ridiculous. Let me zoom in on this a little bit more. So obviously the Crunchyroll Anime Awards for the year are believe going right now. I think they're about to close actually. Well, they might have just closed. And within their all their picks, people have noticed there's no Goblin Slayer. And I know people probably like, what's so special about there not being Goblin Slayer? Is when you have specifically things like best boy, best girl. Okay, that's very opinionated, but also anime of the year, not even on there. And you have stuff like Megalobox and Zombieland Saga, things that were definitely not nearly as talked about because not only was Goblin Slayer very, it had, some controversy in it, but it was easily the most talked about series of the year. And, you're probably like, Rex, what do you mean? Maybe some people didn't hear about it, whatever. Crunchyroll themselves actually did an article where they talked about what was doing the best out of the last portion of the year, and Goblin Slayer like dominates America, dominates Canada. Well, that's like that's about no, that's definitely domination right there. Dominates Latin America, does pretty well in Europe. That's like what, like a third or fourth of Europe. Dominates Australia, and doesn't look like it did too well in Africa, but it clearly showed that it was extremely popular. And there, look, there's Zombieland Saga right there. Where's Zombieland Saga on here? Okay, it's not really on there. Oh, Goblin Slayer destroying. Oh, at the same time that it was going, Zombieland Saga where here? Right here, right here. Okay, cool. You have zombie girls that do cute sing-alongs. Fantastic, Crunchyroll. Now, this is extremely confusing, mainly because when it comes down to popularity, that's 100% going to be off of facts. You're not going to be able to say, well, even though it was this very dark, controversial story, it doesn't count. It shouldn't. That should not get in the way of it. It should 100% count, especially when it comes to popularity. Obviously, a really good example is I'm not a huge fan of One Piece. Anyone who's talked to me about manga and anime knows I read One Piece pretty casually. I'm not like a big fan, but obviously when I talk about in terms of popularity, yeah, it destroys everything else in popularity. It's the most popular. Popularity is different than what is exactly, what do I like the most. But when you have awards going on where it's like we're gonna point whatever's the most popular. This is an award show. It goes entirely by what exactly people like the most, and they clearly aren't doing that. They're pulling up some extremely ridiculous characters that people I bet haven't even really heard of. You look at Best Boy. Okay, I not seen anyone talk about uh, Honda Skull Dude. I haven't seen anyone talk about the dude from Zombieland Saga. Obviously, Deku's on there. He's pretty popular. You got Joe on there. I'm surprised Asta didn't make it on there, but that's fine. Obviously, when you look at that, as a good example, again, on my channel, I like Black Clover a lot more than My Hero Academia, but I know that My Hero Academia is much more popular, and when it comes to something like popularity, I can't dispute that. I can dispute who I personally think is a better character, who I like more, and as well as which series do I'm sorry, hiccups. Which series do I think is better? But when it comes down to which one is more popular, then it's obvious, and something like Best Boy and Best Girl and the favorite anime, the best anime of the year, it's gonna go entirely down to opinions. It isn't something like best animation. Best animation is entirely based off of the skill of animation. You could have a really good story and a really good bunch of characters, but have bad animation, or vice versa. You could have a terrible story but great animation. And obviously, even if it was a horrible series, it would win great animation if it was the best in its class. And this is just another sign that Crunchyroll is really starting to fall away from a lot of things. People that were here not too long ago, what back in August, remembered the controversy going on when they announced the High Guardian Spice series, a series that was about it's literally just like Harry Potter and Steven Universe merged, and they're like, we're doing something way different. We're gonna have body positivity and people of color and LGBTQ whatever letters in there, and it's like you're doing the exact same thing as all these other Western animation groups are doing, and the money that's going towards you guys is supposed to go to the Japanese animation side of things. You could have done this to animate a season of something that people never got to see, dub something. You have all the Yu-Gi-Ohs on there, and as a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, I know it's frustrating that the last season of GX and 5Ds were never dubbed, so I can't buy the whole series on dubbed and like put it on a shelf, or I have to, I'll have to go to the Japanese ones, but I don't even know if those are subtitled if I buy them on DVD. Or you could have animated the last arc of Bleach, something I know Bleach fans have been waiting for forever. There's tons of things. You could have actually went for an anime style thing instead of a Steven Universe clone. It's extremely confusing, and then they were so surprised when they got so much backlash and people unsubscribed to them and pulled away from them because they weren't listening to their customers. They weren't listening to consumer base. They were completely running on pure agenda. And you could see in the trailer, if you watch the High Guardian Spice trailer, you could see, yeah, they're definitely pushing some shit. They're not doing something that they think the large consumer base are going to enjoy. They're pushing for a very small, like political agenda driven idea. And you can see, there's a lot of this very subtly in these awards, because you're rolling now with, all right, we're going for awards off of the anime of the year. Not long. When does this Goblin Slayer article published? It was back in November, and they aren't even getting close to putting on there. There's not one Goblin Slayer nomination on there. Now, if there was some presence on there, this wouldn't really be a problem. But I mean, like, look at something like, okay, the black best fight. One of them is Yami versus Licht and Black Clover, and the Black Clover anime is very back and forth, very controversial within the fan base and some people checking it out because the animation is very inconsistent. But that was a really good fight. So even if you were like, man, I don't really like the series, that fight was really cool. So you can kind of look at that. You don't need to know more specifics about something when it comes to just based off of popularity based facts. And that should be the case here. Even if they're like, Goblin Slayer was very controversial, it doesn't really matter when they, one, profited off it. Keep that in mind. They profited the hell out of it. And not only that, but they ran an article going off of it. It's extremely ridiculous. But I don't know. Let's look at their stuff really quick and see where Goblin Slayer currently ranks within everything. Let's look at their skills right here. Goblin Slayer. Look at that. Oh, look, really nice. Oh, I didn't even scroll down enough. Look at that. Really nice ratings right here. 47 1 stars and 368 5 stars. And I mean, it's pretty well mixed between 4 and down, but you have a massive portion of people that really like Goblin Slayer. And I mean, it's so clear that they're rigging these votes. It's so clear after knowing how much Crunchyroll has been very heavy with agenda-based things, them changing dubs to fit agenda things, making very leftist jokes, and everything around High Guardian Spice was a huge smack in the face of, oh yeah, they're doing this purely for this kind of thing, and it's ridiculous, and it just kind of breaks away from the idea that they're for the medium, they're for the anime and manga community, and not only the community but also for the creators and the franchise themselves. And it's just getting the fact that now they're just going to go for them. They aren't going for what's best for everyone. They're going entirely for what they want, what exactly they think should be being pushed out into the fans, and what people should accept instead of what they actually want. And it's absolutely ridiculous. Everything about this is terrible. So drop a comment below in the comment section and tell me what you think of this whole thing. Do you honestly think that Goblin Slayer shouldn't be on there? I mean, is there anyone who even has been around within the last couple months, even if you don't like Goblin Slayer? I mean, It should be obvious. They should at least be on there. Everyone knows it was very popular. It was very talked about. It's a very liked series, and people are extremely excited. The fact that it even got announced the season two, like what, like a day after the season ended. So even before this first season ended, they already greenlit a season two. So clearly, it was doing really well for itself. I mean, I don't think anyone else should really have to go into that much depth of, yeah, it should be on there. It was very popular. It was very well received in the large mass of things. Just because a couple snowflakes cried that, there's some violence and some graphic adult level materials in there doesn't mean it should be pushed away. But, tell me what you think about that in the comment section below. And if I can get you to like the video, thumbs up the video, share it. This is a bunch of bullshit, and I think anybody who, even if they don't like Goblin Slayer, wants fairness to be well set within something like this. I mean, Anime Awards itself, it's not really a big deal, but the fact that Crunchyroll is clearly ignoring the people that pay them money to do stuff, and they're just absolutely not doing it. They're completely running off of their own mindset, and it's ridiculous. So like I said, like the video, share it, and subscribe to my channel. Hopefully I can get you to subscribe and check out the rest of my content, check out my other videos. And I thank everyone who's already subscribed, and I thank you all for listening.